Album number 5. I know, I can't imagine that I managed to do 6 albums out of one, 2.5 week trip, but I did. And we're still in Yellowstone, and I took this brochure that we got, and I've ticked off everything that we saw except for the poor wolves. It's really sad we didn't see those. Would have loved to have seen them, but you never, well, maybe next time, maybe we'll get to go back again, I don't know. Fingers crossed. So I've got all my brochures and things tucked in there, and I do believe that this background paper, I went into one of the shops there and they had this scrapbook kit there. And I thought, oh my gosh, I have found heaven. Because, obviously one wants to show where we were and, do that themey thing. So yes, I was just so excited. And then I'm hoping we're not getting glare. No, I hope not. So yeah, now I've got our snow capers going on, and I think I am heavily influenced by Shamal at this stage. I was probably taking one of her classes, and there are layers going on, and oh my gosh, look what I was doing here. I have a little envelope, I have flare, I have dimensional elements going on here, I've got flags. Yeah, it's still, the oranges and things, but gosh, I mean, if you compare my previous album, and that I think was kind of reserved, and here I've just gone bam. Still kind of, I don't know, brown. but I'm getting all creative now. Gosh. And yes, we had some very bad hair days. In particular, I don't know what was going on there. It just looks like a haystack on my head. But yeah, I love this photo actually. You see why do words fail me as soon as I turn the camera on? Waterfall. There we go. The waterfall, and oh yes, and I'm getting again with the layers and the pinwheels and the gigantic star and pink. Finally I'm getting some different colours on here. But yes, we go and look at the wildlife often, and I must be fair, in our wildlife parks there are places where you can get out, and there are places where you definitely do not get out, because if you were to get out you were going to be, chowed by a lion or something. Sorry, I just want to move that down because I'm going to zoom you in just a tiny bit, because I've got these going on here and I think they're a bit distracting. So let's, oops, wrong way. Let's try going the other way. Oh, well, we'll just have to be distracted by them. So yeah, and you find these tourists are like practically up the noses of these animals, and that's how you get eaten by a bear. It's just logical. So yeah, I had to, because yeah, signs all over the place clearly stating that how far away they had to be from the animals. And I'm telling you, this woman, she was not that far away. But anyway, it did irritate me slightly, and that's why I felt I had to document it. But look at that. I think I must have got my silhouette going again, because I know that's a punch I've got. Oh, I'm suitably impressed by my creativeness I've got going on here. Then naturally we had to have more snow fights. Got to have snow fights, and that was the car that we hired. It was great because it was huge and gave us lots of space, and the kids could spread out and not get up each other's noses, as they do when, you're in a confined space for a long period of time. Oh, got a different formation of pocket page here. Yep, the snow. We were duly fascinated by the snow. I put that on the outside. Yeah, oh well, not sure why I did that. We were fascinated by the snow naturally, because we're not used to snow. And then we took a day trip to Cody, Wyoming, mainly for, naturally, the gun museum, but also because I had in my mind I wanted to buy cowboy boots. I fancied myself prancing around in cowboy boots, but that didn't happen. They're beautiful, they really are, but I don't think they quite fit my feet very well, so that didn't pan out at all, which was a little bit disappointing. but they were also really expensive. So, and just getting our blogs detailing what we're doing, each of us. Got a clip in there. And yes, all the ephemera. Oh, I think I cut down a pocket page. Yes, I must have done, and then I just, because the fuse tool wasn't out in these days, people, oh no. So I just sealed it with some washi tape. And yes, the many, many guns. I have to say, we might have got a little bit bored during this trip. We might have sat and kind of waited for him to do his thing, and then, you know, go and find something more interesting. He had a wonderful time. He enjoyed himself so much. But yeah, guns are not really our thing. So yes, and oh gosh, yeah, they get really big. I was amazed. Yeah. That's the thing about animals, unless you can put them in perspective, you actually don't know how big they really are. And yes, I've got my silhouette cut going again, and I'm putting pictures. I had a program that put them all together, I remember now. Ooh, and look at that, getting all sorts of things on here. Yes, and there's our campsite. So we're still in Yellowstone, still enjoying ourselves. See, there's some elk, I think. Oh, I think it's an eagle. Yeah. So now we're leaving, and yeah, I'm using my scrapbook paper that I bought, and some flair, and yeah, not a bad page. I don't know why I seem to be so surprised by how I scrapbooked back then. Oh, and I got actually some pretty stuff going on here now, because now we're leaving Salt Lake City and we're going to New Orleans. And can I say, New Orleans was the hottest place. I mean, I thought Las Vegas was hot when we were there, but New Orleans was like hot, hot, hot. Tamsin and I were not exactly the happiest, oh, so cute, happiest people in New Orleans, I will freely admit. But yeah, we had to visit it naturally. And these, wow, people, these are the most amazing toffee apples I've ever seen in my life. And the kids could not finish it. No, indeedy. But yeah, again, we're taking, okay, that's actually a photograph. That's a postcard. We're taking the houses because we're fascinated by that. I was fascinated by this. I don't know, can you see that? Let me show you up close, because I thought it was the cutest thing I've seen. You've got this house, and you've got this balcony, and they've got a braai. Okay, well, I don't know what you would call them, barbecues maybe. They've got a braai and some chairs, and I don't know how wide that balcony is. But yeah, they must sit out there and braai their food and stuff and be all sociable. Man, I'd be petrified of falling off the edge. So, yeah. But yes, we got hot. So very hot. And don't I look like a typical tourist there? I mean, honestly. But there was a cat. And, oh, what's that? Oh, I did that to keep them closed because the things were falling out. Okay. We stopped for cats. I love cats, so yeah. But, and that's where we ate breakfast. Yeah, it was a little sad, actually, the rest of the trip, because I got some really sad news while I was here. And it kind of put a pall in the whole thing for me. But that's life, I guess, hey. And the buskers. And oh, yes, look. I got all fancy there, trying to mimic the masks that we saw in the shops. And Jessica's a huge Harry Potter fan. But yeah, look at that. I got stamping on there and some gems and, oh, go me. Yeah, there is a lot of hot in this part of the album, a lot. Oh, and this dude, I called him Anger Management Dude because he was insane. He was very nice with us and was explaining what tours we could go on, and a lot of them were walking tours, and I wasn't going to do that. But while he was chatting to us, some innocent little girl, well, she wasn't little, I mean, she must have been in her early 20s, came up and took one of the brochures to see what was available. And he turned around to her and he yelled at her. I mean, he literally let rip at her from a dizzy height. This poor girl stood there as if to say, well, what did I do? And then he turned back to us as sweet as can be. So yeah, I called him Anger Management Dude because I figured he needed a serious course on that. Oh, that's crazy. Oh, I've got some ribbon. Oh, go me. Ah, the layers. All the layers. Yeah, layering was hot back then. Big layers. Yeah. At least in my opinion it was. Again, so darn hot. But you can see her face. Look at that face. That is not a happy face. Nope, she was hot, I was hot. We went on the slopes to go and see the alligators. Oh, this is what... No, there's a name for this, isn't there? And there's the bayou? Swamp tour. Yeah, he was fantastic. He had such a sense of humour, got everybody involved. It was really quite fascinating when we weren't feeling miserable in heart. Anything I didn't really like was the fact that they gave these giant marshmallows to get the alligators to come out. But I'm guessing that is part of, you know, what is allowed there. So, well, you know, that's the way it is, that's the way it is. Ah, Red Bull, that's my man. So yeah, and then we just went around and took photos. This is some famous bar, I think. Pub, something. Yeah, oh, and all my little cards that I kept collecting. And yes, then we went on the Ferris wheel. No, it's not a Ferris wheel, is it? No, man, it's a steamboat. I'm such a nana. It's a steamboat. Ferris wheel is that big thing that goes around. Yeah, I actually do know what I'm talking about. I know sometimes it doesn't seem like I do, but I really do. What was nice about the steamboat is that, oh, okay, getting more creative there, is that inside there was a bar that was air conditioned. So we stayed there the entire time. Yep, and oh yes, so crowded, of course. I mean, it's very touristy there, obviously, but oh, so many people. Oh, there you go, there's a Studio Calico. Huh, I wonder if I started to subscribe by this stage. Might have done, you never know. This amused me. Free air conditioning. How do they make you pay for the air conditioning? You know, if you go into a restaurant, do they sort of say, okay, before you come in here, you have to pay like $5 because we've got air conditioning going? I don't know, does that really happen? I really don't know. But we were super excited about it and we had a wonderful lunch there. So yeah. And these duties freak me out. How they managed to stay still like that for so long. And he had this little stuffed toy dog. Oh, yes. We went out, we left the kids in this place, this little place that we'd hired, and Voja and I went and had some food at the gumbo shop because we heard that this was one of the best places to go for gumbo. It was, yeah, it was lovely. So yeah, we had fun even though it was fricot. So yeah, so thank you for once again indulging me in my little... Oh, looking back on our trip, I must say I adore scrapbooking, holidays and vacations. It's just one of the things I really do, and it's been so much fun looking at it. So yeah, next week will be the final one, and that's the fun one because then we're in Disneyland. So thank you for watching. We'll chat again soon. Bye bye.